Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Deception and I talk about the New York Football Giants. If you guys are new to the channel, please feel free to go down below, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, leave me a comment. This video is going to be mostly me ranting about how fed up I am with the Giants organization. If you guys don't want to hear any cursing, that's totally fine. I'll see you guys in the next video. But I can't promise that I'll be able to withhold the venom that I have going into this video. But, if you have kids in the car or anything like that, I totally understand. Catch you guys in the next one. But let's talk about this Giants team. Because as a fan of this team going on, 27 years, I have never been as disappointed than I am right now with this team this year. I've never witnessed like the blatant dysfunction, the willingness to admit defeat, the waving of the white flags before Thanksgiving. Even like this whole year seemed like the Giants were not willing to win. We had the pieces. We had a healthy offensive line that was ranked, I think, if not in the top 10, close to the top 10. Before Andrew Thomas's injury. We have the best rookie running back in the league in Tyrone Tracy Jr. We have the best rookie wide receiver in the league in Malik Neighbors. We have not one tight end, but two tight ends, both drafted by this regime in Daniel Bellinger and Theo Johnson. What the fuck happened? Why are we sitting here and like 11, 12 weeks into the year and we've been swept by our division? I know we still have one game left to play, but play versus Philly, but I'm not, there's no way in hell we're winning that game. So essentially we've been swept by the division. Players now are just getting hurt for inexplicable reasons. It's just this guy's got this guy's got that. We're putting this guy on IR. We're pulling you out of the game because we don't want to fucking win. I'm watching my general manager basically pack up his family and move to Colorado and is living at the facility talking to Coach Prime and Shadur Sanders, laughing his ass off, smiling away, acting like he doesn't have a freaking care in the world. Acting like he already has the number one overall pick. And he already has the quarterback that he feels like is going to drag this organization out of the slumps. Like I said, my fucking God, man. This fucking team. This team. People like the Giants media personalities, or really anybody that feels like they have any sort of clout in the NFL space, in the football world, will try to look down on you and say you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you're just a fan. I might just be just a fan. That is correct. But these motherfuckers are getting paid millions of dollars to make football decisions. Millions of fucking dollars a year to coach and produce quality starting football players, to produce a quality scheme, to train these players up, build these rookies up, and put a good product on the field. And this is not just a Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen critique, because the Giants were bad before they got here. The Giants are bad when they're here. And what's to say the Giants aren't going to be bad once they're gone? But one thing I'm fucking sick and tired of from this regime is how we're subsidizing talent throughout the rest of the fucking league. How many players did the Giants just let walk out of the building? Just walk out. I'm talking about players like Julian Love, Xavier McKinney, Saquon Barkley. And those two in particular, Saquon in the conversations for Offensive Player of the Year. He's probably going to beat the all-time rushing record, NFL rushing record. Let that sink in. The running back that we let walk out of the door. And this isn't even me saying we should have signed Barkley. I have already let my opinions be known that might have been the right move. But just because I didn't want to allocate resources towards a running back when the team was in the state that it was, doesn't mean you just let that dude walk out of the building for nothing. You don't even get to choose where the hell he goes. You just let him leave. And now he goes to your division rival in the Philadelphia Eagles, might even win a ring this year. The last game of the season might end up breaking the NFL rushing record on you. On you. Because you didn't have the foresight or the rationality to look at the league and say, hey, who would anybody pay Saquon the amount of money he was asking for? Well, obviously they would. The Philadelphia Eagles did. Do you think you would have been able to get anything in a trade for Saquon? Anything at all? Because now when players aren't producing on the New York Giants, I'm starting to think maybe it's not the players. Maybe it's the organization. Maybe it's the coaching. Maybe it's the drafting. You guys are fucking pathetic. How many fucking great players that weren't great on the Giants or were mediocre on the Giants end up going to other situations and then they thrive? And again, this goes back to Julian Love, Xavier McKinney. Xavier McKinney in conversation as Defensive Player of the Year. The man has 7 interceptions on the year. The Giants as a whole team only have 1 interception on the year. Julian Love, Pro Bowl caliber player on the Seattle Seahawks. Now Leonard Williams, you traded for a 2nd round pick, which you then turned into a trade for Brian Burns, which this isn't anything for anybody as people. Okay, this is a results business. This is a football organization. You traded a 2nd round pick that you traded Leonard Williams for. Leonard Williams looks great in Seattle. He might be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. How many sacks does Leonard Williams have? How many quarterback hits does Leonard Williams have? How many tackles for loss does Leonard Williams have? You traded him and you basically swapped him for Brian Burns. Is Brian Burns as productive on the New York Giants than Leonard Williams is on the Seattle Seahawks? Answer me that. People like to say that the Giants are like this young team or we're rebuilding, but trading for a player like Brian Burns, an edge rusher that is he's not that great of a player, guys. Like, sure, he has flashes and sure he has moments where he can be a difference making player, but he's not that consistent. He's not that guy, and we paid him like he was. We traded a high 2nd round pick for him. We treated him like he was like this TJ Watt, JJ Watt, freaking Nick Bosa, like, he's not that player. But yet the Giants overvalue players, we undervalue players, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like I said, just letting players walk, letting them walk right into the arms of our division rivals, getting nothing in return. Just wasting those fucking draft picks. Oh, we're going to get compensation picks, or you know what? Who gives a fuck? Are you going to get like a 5th round pick for Xavier McKinney? Are you going to get a 5th round pick or a 4th round pick for letting Saquon go? This is fucking embarrassing. We're just letting all of our good players walk. And when I see Joe Shane's smug ass saying, "Oh, the reason why we're struggling this year is because our we're losing these 1-score games and we have a young team." Well, you let all of our experienced veteran leadership and players walk out the door, and then you subsidize them through the draft, and now you have rookies trying to train rookies and nothing. I hate this fucking team. I do. They're a joke. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. How come in any other, imagine whoever's watching this, in your job, in your line of work, could you literally have one of the worst records in football, or not in, well, just in football, but can you literally be like the bottom of the barrel producers at your job for 2 years straight and expect for you to keep your job? not even an average employee, but you're actively not just treading water, you're actively sinking. You're damaging the brand for the company that you work for. Could you still have a job after 2 fucking years? Could you? I know I wouldn't. It's like these guys, they feel entitled to have 3, 4, 5, 6 years to implement their vision. Well, what is your vision? It seems like a lot of players don't agree with your vision. Your vision is bullshit. If even if you did have a vision, we would see some fruits of that labor being produced by now, 3 years in. But we're sitting here at the back end of the NFL season. We're projected to have a top 3 pick in the NFL draft because of your vision, because of your scheme, your process. What process, Joe Schoen, are we following here? Is the process to fucking suck, to get rid of all of our talent, to send players with bumps and bruises to IR so that you can avoid having them play on Sundays, so that we can increase our chances to lose, so we can increase our chances to have a high draft pick, so you can go get your new best thing, your new quarterback? It's fucking shameful. How could, like, literally, how are you gonna? Oh, and you guys are just so fucking weaselly because you guys you'll wait to make moves, or you'll refuse to talk about anything that you feel uncomfortable talking about. Like when I see Brian Dable or Joe Schoen in these press conferences and they're asked questions, like let's say last year when the whole Wink Martindale situation was going down, and reporters are asking Joe Schoen and Brian Dable, how's the rapport with Wink? Like, is he going to be coming back? Oh yeah, Wink's going to be coming back. As far as we know, we haven't heard anything. Our relationship with Wink is very good. And then meanwhile, Wink is literally on his way out of New York, literally at the airport while that interview was taking place. They're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of frauds. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just buying themselves more time. The next thing that's going to buy them more time is a new quarterback. I don't want these motherfuckers to be in charge of drafting a quarterback, evaluating what quarterback, giving them a whole new year, and then, because I already know who these guys are. They're frauds. They don't know what they're doing. Millions of dollars a year for this product on the field that is garbage. Fans that show up every single week. And you treat them like that by delivering a product like that. Not like investing money into, the players that Joe Schoen and Brian Dable, the players that they have paid, the ones that are considered the best players on the team. They're all Dave Gettleman guys. Like, and I'm pissed that these guys walked out of the building, but Xavier McKinney, one of the Defensive Player of the Year candidates, that was a Dave Gettleman guy. Saquon Barkley, Offensive Player of the Year candidate, that was a Dave Gettleman guy. Julian Love, Dave Gettleman guy. Leonard Williams, Dave Gettleman guy. Andrew Thomas, Dave Gettleman guy. Dexter Lawrence, Dave Gettleman guy. Let's take a look at some of the players that Joe Schoen has brought in here. You look at your first year and you had 2 top 7 picks and you choose Evan Neal and Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon Thibodeau is fucking mid at best. Let's be honest. He's been nothing shy of a disappointment his entire career here with the Giants, and I don't really see that changing. What does he do? He gets he might get a few sacks throughout the season when really it's like they're not even impactful. They're during like garbage time, or he's just involved in some cleanup sacks. It's easy to get sacks when you have Dexter Lawrence up the middle flushing out the quarterbacks. I have no faith in Kayvon Thibodeau. I have no faith that he's going to turn into anything rather than just a middle of the road edge rusher. I mean, I honestly have more faith in Azeez Ojulari than Kayvon Thibodeau, and he's a David Gettleman guy as well. But aside from Kayvon, who else did you draft that year? Evan freaking Neal. the hamburger flipper himself, the guy that mocked Giants fans for critiquing his play, for getting our quarterback killed, the one that's no longer on the roster. That guy, he's the one that he's the one that you drafted, wasted that top 7 pick on. There were other players you could have taken there. And I'd be lying to you if I told you that I wasn't a fan of the pick at the time. But I'm not the one that's going out literally having meetings with these motherfuckers. I'm not the one that's going and watching them play in person. I'm not the one that's having, all of these lunches and dinners and bringing them into the facility, getting to know them as people, watching them, talking to their coaches and their teammates. And I don't have access to any of that. All I have access is to what I see in college football. So you guys have all this extracurricular information that we as fans don't. I expect you, as a guy that's getting paid as much as you are, to make the right fucking decisions and don't just reach for motherfuckers, because that's what he is. He's not even just a reach, he's a bust. He's a certified bust. Who did we get in the second round that year? Wan'Dale Robinson. Well, you know who else was sitting there when we drafted Wan'Dale Robinson? And this is, again, not shade at Wan'Dale Robinson as a person. I'm sure he's a great guy. This is just football. Okay, you had George Pickens sitting there in the second round that you could have taken, but no, you take a 5'7", 5'8" motherfucker from Kentucky, a gadget wide receiver, when we literally had no number 1 wide receivers on the roster. There was literally George Pickens right there from Georgia. You could have taken, would have been a difference maker from year 1. Look at what he's doing with the Steelers. I know a lot of Giants fans wanted George Pickens that year, but no, you guys feel like you know best. You wanted to go get your slot receiver, okay? You wanted to get your Cole Beasley. You wanted to go get, it's just so fucking frustrating, man. And then who else did we get? Can't forget Josh Azudu, Marcus McKeithen. Great fucking picks. The one of them that's not even on the team anymore, I don't think, in Marcus McKeithen, but Josh Azudu, the guard from North Carolina that you think is not a guard but is a tackle, and so you take him from his natural position, put him at a place, and has been nothing but a disaster. That's on you. Trey Hawkins and Dane Belton, what the fuck have they done? What have they done? All I hear is how great, Dane Belton is at this or that. I haven't seen it. He was supposed to be a ball hawk. I haven't seen him intercept a pass this year. Where the fuck has he been? Jordan Riley. Is Jordan Riley a contributor on this team? Is Gervarius Owens even on this team anymore? No, none of them are. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the 2023 draft from the New York Football Giants and what Joe Shane's masterclass that he decided to bring on board to fulfill the vision that they tried to shove down our throats and tried to use as a smokescreen and tell fans, you guys don't know what you're talking about. There's a process, you can't see it, but it's happening. Let's see who they brought in to fulfill that vision. So Deonte Banks, first round, we traded up for this dude one spot to ensure that we would get him. He's been nothing but a disappointment. And is that so much on Deonte Banks? No, because he's a press man fucking corner. You drafted him to play in a Wink Martindale defense, and then year 2 you bring in a defensive coordinator in Shane Bowen that's the total opposite. Doesn't play man press coverage. And so no wonder Deonte Banks doesn't look as good as he did his rookie year. And he wasn't perfect his rookie year, but just from this, looking at this first pick in 2023, I like the player. I don't like the moves made behind the scenes to get him away from what made him the player that he was in college, to make him the player he was in year 1. That's on you guys. You guys brought in somebody with a very specific skill set and you don't allow him to utilize that skill set. That's on you. That's not so much on the player. That's on you. All right, now let's look at pick number 2 in the Joe Schoen 2023 draft class. John Michael Schmitz, center from Minnesota. First of all, I see this dude getting ragdolled by no names all the fucking time. It seems like he can't stay healthy. Literally at best, this dude came into the league as like a 24, 25-year-old rookie. He should have been manhandling people from day one, but he hasn't. He's an average center. He might even be a below average center. Can he grow and develop, maybe get better in the future? Maybe, but I don't have any faith in this coaching staff. I don't have any faith that they'll be able to get the most out of players. It seems like everybody regresses when they come to the Giants, and everybody gets better when they leave the Giants. Evan Ingram, that's a name I forgot to say. Evan Ingram was on the Giants and was drafted in the first round by the Giants. We just let him walk out the door and he gets signed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. One of the best tight ends in the league. Might even be a top 10 tight end in the NFL. So there's something wrong here with the Giants. There's something wrong with how we view the development of these players, how we utilize these players. It seems like it's like an every man for themselves kind of mentality where the offense isn't in lockstep with the defense and vice versa. Is Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll actually having these conversations, talking about what they want to build for the foundation for this team? Because as far as I see, this whole team has just given up. There's no more energy in this team. You're having people that are, it's like the injury bug is just popping up everywhere because players just don't want to fucking deal with this shit anymore. Fans don't want to deal with this shit anymore. You guys need to fucking go. I'm sorry, but let's keep going. So John Michael Schmitz, round 2. At best, he's an average center in the league. Maybe has some room to grow, but I digress. I don't think they're going to be able to get the most out of him. Round 3. Guess who we traded all the way up for, because we had this vision for him, this process that we wanted to follow, because we felt like we would be able to get something out of this guy, and now he can't even step on the field. Jalen Hyatt. Jalen Hyatt, the Biletnikoff winner, the Texas Volunteer standout guy that, you know, is so fast no one's going to be able to touch him. He's going to be able to take the top off of defenses. Doesn't matter about his size because you're going to be able to scheme him open. You'll be able to stack him. Do nothing with him. He just stands on the sideline. He gets no targets. He gets no opportunities. Even when there's injuries, he doesn't get any opportunities. But you guys invested. You guys traded, what, like 3 picks or something to trade all the way up there to get your guy to fulfill your vision, and you don't even fucking use him. Why? Why? Why did you trade up for him if you're not even going to use him? And if he's this bad, if he's just this unplayable, why did you trade that much to go get him? You know, I have a funny feeling that if the Giants were to just, and it would be so Giants, right? Just to let him walk, just to let him go because, oh no, we don't want to use you. We thought we were going to use you, but no, it turns out you actually suck and you're not good enough to be on the Giants. I have a feeling that he would go literally anywhere in the league and be a star. If not a star, he would be a contributor, some guy that would catch at least like 1 deep ball a game, or at least get 1 or 2 targets deep a game. And he'd be looked at in a totally different light as a speed demon on the outside, somebody that the defenses would have to account for, open things up underneath. But we don't use them like that. Why would we? We're the Giants. Let's move on. Next pick. So next pick for the Giants in round 5, because we traded between round 3 and round 5, we traded our 4th round pick and probably God knows what else to go get Jalen Hyatt. So we're in round 5. Guess who we draft? Eric Gray, running back from Oklahoma. And what has Eric Gray done in the NFL? besides fumble the ball and kick returns and get maybe 1 or 2 good screen passes this year? What has he done? He's done absolutely nothing. And in fact, he's been so bad that you felt the need the next draft to draft another running back in the later rounds in Tyrone Tracy, which, hey, look, good running back, but has a fumbling issue. Has cost us a few games this year because of his fumbling issue. Okay, so both of the running backs that you've drafted both have fumbling issues. The first one was so bad that you decided just to say hell with it. I'm just going to go get another guy. But anyway, he doesn't get any playing time. That was a wasted pick. Let's move on. Can't even use him on fucking special teams. You can't use a running back on punt or kick returns because you don't trust his hands. Anyway, yeah, let's move on. Trey Hawkins. Trey Hawkins was the media darling during training camp last year. You know, saw a bunch of videos of him breaking up some passes, looking sticky in coverage, but that was a facade, man. He hasn't done shit at all except just warming up the fucking bench. Even when, you know, you have guys like like Deontay Banks out for, you know, whatever reason, because, you know, the Giants are in full tank mode. You don't even put Trey Hawkins in there at all. So that just shows how much faith you actually have in him. And then next round, Jordan Riley, this big motherfucker from Oregon that we never use. And then, yeah, Javarius Owens, not even on the team anymore. A promising safety from, I believe, Houston when we drafted him. And he's had zero roles on this team. I don't even think we used him in special teams or kick returns or anything like that. But which was a shame because he looked like he had a lot of talent. You know, now, and you know, just looking at these drafts, man, like that 2023 draft, we literally have nothing in that draft class that is working in our benefit because they don't trust Deontay Banks. John Michael Schmitz is freaking mid at best. Jalen Hyatt is a fucking ghost. We never see him, never use him. My goodness. You know, if it wasn't for this previous draft class, I wonder how people would be feeling about Joe Shane. Because just like how Brian Daboll had the fraudulent 2022 season where we went to the playoffs and everybody was hailing him as this great fucking coach and this great offensive coordinator and this quarterback whisperer and all the legend was true and all this bullshit, man. Like, I'm so fucking sick of it because he wasn't even calling the plays that year. That was Mike Kafka. The same Mike Kafka that has been banished to the Shadow Realm so that, you know, Brian Daboll can take over play calling, and everything has just went from bad to worse under Brian Daboll's play calling. I don't get it. I don't get how these guys are allowed to still have access to that Giants building. Why do their key cards still work? Why are we allowing this shit to happen? And I understand being patient. I totally understand being patient. But when you keep you know, when these guys keep taking the podiums and they have this demeaning fucking attitude about them, when they say that we need to trust the process and all they do is make excuses. And it's so funny when when Joe Shane, you'll criticize some of his draft picks, but then he says, oh, you can't judge a draft until 3 years in. But yet this year with his 2024 draft, he's saying, oh yeah, look at all these great picks that we got. Well, motherfucker, you got to choose a side, because if we're not allowed to judge a draft class until 3 years in, I'm not giving you this draft class. I'm not giving you the satisfaction of the 2024 draft class if you won't take accountability for the last 2 draft classes you have. I won't do it. Ridiculous. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, when Brian Daboll will you know, refuse to answer questions about the roster or injuries or scheme or decision making on any given Sunday, and then he'll say he has to watch the tape, and then next day, okay, he comes in, okay, you had an opportunity to watch the tape, you know, what, can you please answer that question I asked you last night? Oh yeah, we're on to next week. I understand the question, but we're on to next week. Just no fucking accountability. A bunch of clowns. A bunch of fucking weasels that got themselves a a position on Josh Allen's back, because the only reason Brian Daboll is in the position that he's in is because of Josh Allen. The only reason Joe Shane is in the position he's in is because of Brandon Beane. Like, these are some coattail riding motherfuckers that just walked into my favorite team's building, and it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors for days. The best players on this team didn't come from you guys. Our best offensive performances didn't come from you, Brian Daboll. That was Mike Kafka. Like, what do you bring to the table? What are you guys good at? What are you guys doing in the building that literally anybody else on the street couldn't do? Like, I understand you guys might work hard. I understand you guys might have a lot of conversations, but what's the substance of those conversations? What's the outcome? What's the goal? Because now it seems like I just smell fucking desperation off of you guys, and I feel like you're gonna go in there and get a quarterback. Shit's not gonna end up the way you want it to. There's gonna be a million excuses, and then you're gonna end up getting fired. New quarterback's gonna be in a shit storm because it's gonna be the same fucking shit we did to Daniel Jones. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all the finger pointing. Oh, it's not me, it's this. That's what happened with Wink Martindale last year. It's what happened with Mike Kafka. It's happened with even Saquon or Xavier McKinney and all these players that are no longer Giants but are producing in other cities for other teams. You guys point the fingers at all these other things and saying that we're a young team and this, that, and the other. It's like, if your guys' vision was that solid, we would be able to see some dividends from all those decisions you guys have made this year. Because this is year 3 and you guys are going to be going into year 4. I have no faith that you are going to produce anything but a shit sandwich going into next year. I do not trust you. You're not my coach. You're not my fucking general manager. Just some coattail riding motherfuckers on this team, man. And you could tell that the players are sick of it. Hopefully ownership is sick of it. The fans are definitely sick of it. And I hate feeling like I just get gaslit by my fucking head coach and my general manager every time I sit down and listen to them speak, and I want to hear some accountability or at least some reassurances going forward that we are going in the right direction, but all I hear is excuses. Anyway, I know. I don't even know if I'm going to be posting this video. I just wanted to rant a little bit, and just this fucking team, man, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick and just how they just make it look so hard to run a football team. And I'm not even asking you guys to go to the fucking Super Bowl this year, but my God, can we at least win like can we win like 7 or 8 games? Can we be can we reach 500 once during the season? Can you just back up all of this shit you guys talk in the offseason, this cocky, arrogant, weaselly little fucking attitudes you guys have on Hard Knocks, and just proves your guys' ignorance about how the NFL actually works when you guys don't think anybody's going to pay Saquon. You don't think you're going to get anything for Saquon? What a joke, man. What a joke. It's cool if you guys don't want to pay players, man, but at least go get something for them. Because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of watching New York Giants be successful in other states. I'm tired of bringing in people, trading up for people, thinking that this draft class is going to be the one that saves the organization. And it's like players get worse and worse and worse year after year. But as soon as they leave the Giants, all of a sudden they're Pro Bowlers. All of a sudden they're defensive rookie or defensive player of the year candidates or offensive player of the year candidates. You should be embarrassed. You shouldn't wear that Giants blue. That Giants blue actually fucking means something. Maybe not to you, but for the fans that watch this team on a weekly basis, that pay all that money for the season tickets and the parking and the concessions and the just the gas to get everything. Buy all the merchandise. Buy the fucking Sunday ticket so you can watch the stupid games. And then you're gonna put a product like that on the field. You're not gonna show any kind of intentions to win games. Now I don't even want you to win games now because it's already too fucking late. We're already mathematically eliminated from any kind of reasonable assumption that we're gonna make the playoffs or anything. We're done. The Giants are done. So I don't even care if you guys win games. I have reached apathy with this team a long time ago. I just feel numb whenever I feel or think about the Giants because you guys have done nothing to get me excited in the last 2 years. 2022 was fool's gold. It was a smoke and mirrors. It was a hallucination of a team that wasn't even yours. That was all Dave Gettleman's players. That wasn't even you calling plays, Brian Dable. I'm tired of this shit, man. Just get some football people in here and let's win some fucking football games. It shouldn't be that hard. You have these guys that you bring in and pay all this money to make these decisions and all these. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I could just keep going, but I appreciate you guys stepping into or checking out the channel, clicking on the video. If you're new, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, or even dislike the video if you don't like it. I don't fucking care. You know, fuck it. I'm a Giants fan ranting. But leave me your guys' frustrations about the team because it's just the more things change, the more things stay the same. And like I said, we were bad before they got here. We might even be bad after they get or after they're gone because it might even just be an ownership thing. Who knows? But I appreciate you guys checking everything out. But until then, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.